then the big one happened the other morning.
The embodiment na. The embodiment na. After you, and then after that, Savasana. Do.
Hey, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm finally in the same country as you.
Is she back? Ah, welcome back.
Got back into the country. But I'm in Alabang, so I can't make it there.
Oh, she's in Alabang. You, and then the journal from. No, I'm not here today. Okay, we can say the journal. We can no, just read it. Yeah. Yeah, and then we can share na lang so they can do it on their own. Yeah, their journal and their body. Am I hearing myself here? Yes. Do you have a lighter?
So, we're gonna keep hearing this little voice here. Oh, I guess we're not right now.
Yeah, I think they should mute you, right? Participants.
I hear it here, but then it won't go lower volume. So we kind of hear it here, but it doesn't.
Technology.
The volume here won't go to 0. So there's volume here. I just don't know if it's.
You have to mute that.
No, it's muted, but
the mic is muted,
yeah,
but the speaker is.
Yes, exactly.
You have to mute the speaker as well.
How do I do
that? It's beside the mic.
Beside the mic is video. Oh, unless I disconnect the audio.
Thank you.
But there is a disconnect audio.
Arako. Thank you.
Can you try? Can you do the there? Okay.
Kaliw taglight day.
I don't have it. Don't worry, I'll put it in there somewhere. I'll move it there when I'm talking about. Merry Christmas.
I did to that. Okay. Or at least hindi na tayo lilipat. Sakto ka na, marami ka na. Enough na lang yung boss mo. Oh, yeah. You don't see.
You know, put the flowers on that side.
Yeah. Please don't rain. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the circle. I'm Princess, and today is Tuesday, December 29th. I'm still on Earth, and it's the full moon. Is it tonight or tomorrow? Tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. And that will be in a Cancer sign, my moon actually. So a lot of feelings. Welcome everyone who's joining us here on Zoom, and to everyone who's joining us later, welcome also. We're all connected in this parallel. Yeah. Okay. I'd like to start with cleansing this space. If you have any smudging sticks with you, you may use that. I'll pass this around. Slowly arriving here. Sitting down in a comfortable seated position. Maybe shaking off that extra energy that you've been gathering the whole day. If you do Reiki, you can start your, what's that, Hatsureho? And then, when you're ready, you may close the eyes. Arriving here, taking a moment to be present in this space, You're safe. You're home. You're loved. You may place the hand together in Anjali Mudra, some slightly touching the sternum, the left and the right palms gently pressing against each other. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out. One more time together. Breathing in through the nose and out. May place the hands back on top of the knees. As we celebrate the last full moon of the year, I'd like to invite everyone to join me as we call our spirits home. With everything that had happened in the past few months or a year, we have probably missed something. We've probably lost some part of ourselves. Maybe our drive, our sense of belongingness. And so, how do we call our spirit back home, back to our bodies? Let's begin by bringing our hands on top of our head, our crown chakra. Connecting with the breath here. Opening that space that connects us with the divine source. Taking a deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we bring our hands on top of our eyes, our third eye. Breathing in. And as we breathe out, we bring our hands on top of our throat, the seat of communication. Our next in breath, we bring our hands on top of our hearts. Feeling the heart, opening the heart. Our next breath, we bring our hands on top of our solar plexus. the place where we receive and reprocess everything, especially our feelings. Calling that spirit back home. We bring our hands on top of our belly, our sacral chakras, the seat of creativity. Your next in breath, we bring our hands on top of our hips or anywhere within the root chakra, maybe the back, the lower spine. Your next breath in, we gently caress our hands over our knees, down to your legs, your feet. And gently, slowly bringing it back to our root, our hips, and then back to the lower back. Bring your hands on top of our womb, our belly. Bring it back to the sacral chakra and the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and then back to the crown. Taking another breath in and out. Let's bring our palms together, rubbing them against each other. And you may place it wherever you feel most vulnerable or where you need healing, where you think your spirit also wants to come back to, where it's calling, cold. This space is safe. You're allowed to feel and to heal. When you're ready, you may slowly open the eyes and welcome back. I will pass. I know you ladies are looking forward to the cacao. I will pass the baton to Karina as she shares with us the energies of the time and how we can move with what is happening with the world right now, with the planets as well.
Hi. Oh, I didn't hear a toot. Do you guys hear me? The dogs woke up as we did, apparently. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Hi. Okay. So this is an interesting full moon we've got to end the year with. So I want to preface this by saying it's a good circle to allow yourself to feel and open up and be vulnerable. And if you need to flow, you flow. If you need to cry, you cry, because it's been a year. And I think that's something that everyone can agree with, right? We don't, for some people, it's been a good year. For some people, it's been a bad year. For some people, it's been stressful. For some people, it's been exciting, but it's been a year. And going into this year, none of us knew that this is what would happen. So coming out of this year, rather than come out with complacency, let's come out with gratitude so that we welcome in the next year with a sense of gratitude. So I'm going to share a little bit about what's going on around the sun and moon, and then I'll pass it on to Thea, who will share more about what is going on with the sun and moon and some other important things going on. So when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to share, I went to what I usually go to, my oracle cards, and I asked for an idea. And so I pulled some, I didn't actually pull some cards, they fell out of the deck like they naturally do, and they were super fitting. So because we closed the last moon circle with Sagittarius, let's open up a little bit with Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is doing some things right now. So we have Venus and the South Node meeting in Sagittarius through this full moon. So I'll break it down a little bit. What is Venus? Venus is love, values, beauty, abundance. South Node is what we're moving away from, because the North Node is what we're moving towards. The South Node is what shows us our gifts. The South Node also shows us some learning lessons. So Venus and the South Node conjunct in Sagittarius, which is beliefs and philosophies and truths that may have been taught to us, talks about moving away from beliefs and ideas that we've learned through this year aren't in our highest good. So Venus and the South Node are working together for us to go and have a look at our values, our value systems. What do we believe, and why do we believe it? Do we believe it because we were taught it? Do we believe it because maybe some people told us that was the way to go through this year? Why do we believe it? So this is a good full moon to drop whatever that is that we believe, that we feel like is not in alignment with our heart, with our Venus. And the card that fell out for that one was the Dragonfly Spirit, which says, truth transcends illusion. And that's fascinating to me, because the truth in this situation is what our hearts say the truth is, right? Rather than what's told to us. And it's squaring Neptune, which means it's in an interesting aspect to Neptune. And Neptune in Pisces talks about our spirituality. So to make it a little more simple, I'm going to say this. Check in with your values and with the beliefs that you hold, and inquire if they still stand true, or are they just extra baggage you're carrying around? How do you feel about your worth? How about money? How do you define abundance? Are all your definitions gateways to success, or are they definitions that drag you down? If they are definitions that drag you down, it's time to revisit them. No better time than the new year to kind of reshape your beliefs. With this card came an inquiry which says, pay attention to the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere. This is spiritual guidance. And that's interesting because a lot of times we'll have our intuition like give us notes or like be like, go this way, do this. And we don't really listen, right? So this is a good time to tune in and listen to what our intuition or spiritual guidance is telling us. So that's what's going on in Sag. From there and from our worth and thinking about what our worth is, how our values are, what abundance is for us, I want to take us into Taurus. So right now, during the full moon, we're going to have Lilith conjunct Uranus in Taurus. And this is going to go on through January. Lilith is raw feminine power. Nice. Okay. So Lilith is raw feminine power. Lilith is the woman that fights for equality for women, right? And so this is embracing our wild side, embracing the side that makes us own up to who we are rather than be quiet or shushed or too much. This, if anything, this is the year that's shown us that there cannot be too much. We're just us. And if it flies with some people, perfect. If it doesn't fly with some people, perfect, because we're just being us. So Lilith is everything I mentioned, while Uranus is the great awakener and the one that shakes things up. So Lilith and Uranus working together in Taurus, which is the sign of the earth, our mother, the earth mother, love, money, and abundance. So you see how this is related to what we were talking about earlier with Venus. And so this talks about our collective worth and the way we see money is changing, and it will likely never be the same again because Taurus also talks about money and tangible objects. And so we're waking up to money as an energy, and we're kind of waking up to the idea that what we've been taught about money about our whole lives may not really be what it is, right? So that comes back to switching around our beliefs and taking note, like, are our beliefs welcoming in abundance, or are they shutting us from abundance? Are they making us go into a shell, or are they making us be like, okay, we're here in all our glory to be seen? So we're being called to use Lilith energy to understand our worth from a space of raw power that craves equality. The question here is, are you looking out to the horizon? Well, when you look out to the horizon, do you open up to the infinite possibility? So when I picked a card for this one, it was a starfish spirit. And what it said was open to infinite possibilities. So my question to you guys is, when you look at the year ahead, do you look through the lens of your comfort zone, or do you derive from your raw power, the one that allows you to be open and rewarded? Because if you're sticking into your comfort zone, that's Taurus. Taurus stays where she's comfortable until she's kind of pushed to move away. And so we're kind of staying in our comfort zones maybe until we need to be breaking out. So ask yourself that. Taurus teaches us that although our comfort zones feel cozy, we need to venture out to grow. Similarly, Cancer says the same thing. If we use our claws, or if we retreat into our shell every time we feel like we're being sensitive or we're becoming vulnerable, then we're discrediting the growth that's waiting for us on the other side. So challenge yourself. I don't want to say just this full moon, maybe this coming year. Challenge yourself when it gets uncomfortable, when it gets challenging, when you're feeling a little sensitive. Can you stick it out, and can you sit in the discomfort and believe that there is going to be something better that comes out on the other side? Or would you go back inside? And it's fine if you're not ready to come out. It's fine if you're ready to stay. I mean, if you just want to stay inside, but slowly build to that point that you're finally like, I'm out of my shell, I'm here, and I'm giving it all I've got. And at the end of the day, as humans, what else can we do but give it all we've got, right? Okay, and the card that came out for that one is the Flamingo Spirit, which is embrace the in-between. So right now we have 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the present, 1 foot in the divine masculine, 1 foot in the divine feminine, one in the past year that's shaken up everything we know about systems and structures, and one welcoming the next with empathy and love in our hearts, because we're bringing in the next year with a Cancer full moon. I mean, really, this is like mind blowing, because this year has broken up so much of what we know about the patriarchy. And the patriarchy, we can think of masculine. Cancer, you think of divine feminine, like literally rising for you. So yeah, I think that's no surprise. It is not a coincidence. It's pretty beautiful, as everything is. And the last thing I want to leave you with is, so right now, Cancer is a sign of the mother. And so we're inside the womb right now. We're in the darkest stage. So it's okay to feel like winter is here, because winter is here. We are sitting in the darkness. We are, a word that you say that I love is ruminating. So we're kind of just seeing what's going on. So we're in the darkest part, and this darkest part is where the real magic is discovered. So how can you open up to the real magic, and how can you embrace it rather than going back into the shell, this Cancer full moon? I know it's hard. I myself, as I'm saying it, I'm like, am I not going to go back into my shell? But you know what? We're all going to try. And I think that's that. Okay. So that's all for me. I'll pass it on to Thea to share a little more. Thank you.
So I hope you can hear me better. Christina, you did say that the audio is quite robotish. So if you can just let us know in the chat if it's better now. But yeah.
A bit better now.
Oh, thank you. Jesus. All right. So thank you, Karina, for sharing about the aspects around the full moon, especially Venus, or rather the aspects, but the other transiting planets, especially Venus and the South Node. But you know more about Cancer and Capricorn. So we have the full moon now in Cancer. And Cancer, the themes around Cancer are security, safety, nourishment, home, the mother, everything that Karina just said earlier. And then opposing. So what happens is, like, ladies here and gentlemen, the moon has risen above the tree. So the astronomical aspect that happens during full moons is the sun directly opposite the moon. And since the moon does not have a light of its own, it only reflects the light of the sun. We have the sun in Capricorn, and the Capricorn themes are around, you know, patriarchy, leadership, authority, structures, the masculine, what you can actually, like the tangible things that Karina also mentioned. So imagine that polarity, right? You have patriarchy opposite the matriarchy or the feminine, the achievement, like this do culture versus the rest and feel and relaxation, leadership, like being an authority, being so practical and pragmatic and structured versus just being flowy and feeling and just gooey, which is like what our emotions are. They're gooey, but they're the same. You see, like they're opposite sides to the same coin. And all signs, every time we have a full moon, all these signs that opposing each other actually have the same essence. So if it's Capricorn, the essence is being a leader, being on top. Cancer is being at home. And when you look at a chart, Cancer is your home, your security, your roots, your lineage, your subconscious, where you are comfortable in, like where you borrow yourself when you're not ready to shine yourself out into the world. Whereas Capricorn is at the apex, it's at the top of your chart. It's that position of leadership, that position of authority, your highest essence. And they're one and the same, because when you're comfortable in your vulnerability, you're comfortable with who you are, and you can actually process your emotions and your feelings, you can step out wholly, authentically, like true and brave, which is what this Cancer and Capricorn polarity is teaching us. And so key questions that I have for you here is like, what structures and foundations can you set for yourself so that you can feel more nurtured, you can be more nurtured and more nourished as you lead from your heart? or as you step fully into that leadership position or your highest self. What habits can you form? How can you be structured? How can you be disciplined in your practice? If it's ceremony, if it's daily meditation, what things, conditions support your safety, your nourishment, how you feel secure? And I mean, notwithstanding the chaos in the world, that's why it's so important that, again, I repeat myself over and over, it's important for us to build this inner authority because we can never, ever, ever control. Control is an illusion. We can never control what happens outside of us, but we can always control what's inside of us. And the highest essence of Cancer is actually teaching us to be in our bodies and to acknowledge our feelings as they come. Because the tension we feel in our bodies are oftentimes the emotions that we suppress. So if there's anything in your body, again, emotion, the moon rules our emotions and our feelings, right? Our emotional body. If there's anything in your body that's feeling sore, if there's any tension, if there's any dis-ease in your body that's keeping you from really flowing, then that's probably where you should shed light, because that's where you should feel more. That's where healing begins. And what I also wanna bring up with this Cancer full moon, it's the last full moon of the year. And it's just so beautifully themed how we're all being invited to be in reflection to like Cancer themes again, especially with what's happening in the world, where our security, our safety, our health are all being challenged. So how can we take control of these things and actually just build that fortress like the crab, right? It has its own shell, it carries its own home. But oftentimes it also sheds its skin. Well, not shed. it leaves its home and then it finds another. So there is a phase in a crab's life where it's just completely vulnerable because it's building a new shell. So tying it up to what Karina said, what new truths, what new values, what new things, groups, anything, what new energies can you incorporate in your life so that you can fortify your shell or, leave your past shell and just come up with this new shell for yourself that will prepare you as you step into this decade, because this decade will be quite interesting. 2020 is just a precursor, an appetizer to an even interesting decade. And I also want to bring up this full moon is a culmination, an acknowledgement or an ending of what happened to you in January when we had a lunar eclipse in Cancer in January. We also had a solar eclipse in June in Cancer. And as we mentioned in our eclipse masterclass, eclipses can go from 6 months to 19 years. It's cycles upon cycles upon cycles. And it's so beautiful that now we're given this opportunity to just really reflect on these things. Because again, we are being called to be in a position of leadership as we step out into this new age. So, how can you better parent your sensitivities and parent your emotions? And when I say parent, is understand your emotions and understand your sensitivities so that you can better respond to things instead of just reacting to things, because reactivity is just so easy for everyone. And reactivity will continue to just implode and explode as the decade goes. I'll leave it at that. How can you mother yourself without holding anyone else outside of you responsible for mothering you? We are all responsible for ourselves here. Our happiness is our own responsibility. How can we nurture our own happiness without being dependent on outside forces? And thirdly, how can we digest our emotions? The moon rules our digestion also somehow, and emotions can be felt in our gut. So if you're feeling distraught, if you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling uncertain, it manifests in our gut, in our stomach, in our bellies quite instantaneously. I don't know, like whatever diseases in the stomach that you're feeling. Um, Oftentimes during full moon, it's more challenging for us to digest because there's water in the sky. There's too much water, there's too much emotion. So our digestive fire, our Agni, is low. So it's crucial, especially on a Cancer, on a water moon, it's crucial for us to have nurturing foods, have grounding foods, grounding beverages to just help us ease into it. And also during full moon, some people have a difficult time sleeping because our circadian rhythm gets disrupted because of the light of the moon. It's quite bright, so our melatonin production decreases. How can how can you be more aware of what conditions nourish and sustain yourself? This is what Cancer is calling us to do and be aware of and reflect on. And aside from these questions, again, why it's so important is um, you've all heard about this Jupiter Saturn conjunction, the Christmas star that happened last December 21. It was cloudy. It has been mostly cloudy in Metro Manila. Wherever you are, I hope you were able to see it. It has been beautiful. I was not able to catch the actual conjunction, but I've seen them before and after, and they're quite beautiful. And I mean, what does that mean really? It just really means that them meeting at that point is an end to the past 200 years of them meeting every 20 years in Earth. And there's so much to say around that, how we've been consuming, how we've been owning things, all Earth tangible things. Now we're shifting to 200 years in air, and air is information, air is sharing, air is being social. And so we are literally stepping into a new era, a new 200-year era, and we are alive during this time. So we are all, each and every one of us, are responsible for mothering and midwifing this new age. So how are you contributing to this new future? We are all co-creators of this new future. So how can you be more responsible so that you can contribute in more meaningful ways to the future that we are all contributing and creating together? Aquarius is the water bearer. And again, with Cancer and nurturing, it's very important for us to fill our own cups. So when we serve our communities, Aquarius also is the sign of the community. And Aquarius believes that each and everyone in the community have unique gifts that they offer for the betterment of that whole community, where, where the whole is the sum of its parts, and every tree is part of the forest. So how can we be more responsible in filling our own cups so that when we are serving, we can actually pour from a full cup and we are whole? We're not reactive. We're not depriving ourselves of our much needed rest and our much needed safety and security. And we can just step into our position of highest authority and power, whole, true, authentic, brave, courageous, beautiful, and just be the lights that we are. We're still in sort of Christmas season, right? And Christ is the light. In as much as we are children of God, whatever faith you believe in, we are all lights. We all have, we are all divine, and we have all this divine spark. And how can we use and stoke our lights and our own fire so that we can continuously lead each other home back to love, which is our highest essence? And with that, I just really want to leave you with this quote from Rumi. It's so beautiful. We are the universe in ecstatic motion. So we are not separate, which is what Aquarius is teaching us. We are not separate. We are all connected, this interconnected web of life. What we do affect each other. What people in Timbuktu, Madagascar, whichever part of the world are doing affect everyone in the globe, because we are one earth. And this is something that we've forgotten because of our society. And this is what the new 200-year cycle is teaching us. This new 200-year in air is we're leaving Earth in consumerism, from acquisition to actualization. So we are all being called forth now to mother a new world, which is our theme. Um, yeah, I'm going to skip this and stop sharing our screen now. And for every one of you here, we will leave with you the journal prompts. Yeah, separately so you can do it on your own time. With that, I'd like to pass it back to Princess.
Hola. Say hola. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Test. So Venus is Sagittarius. Does it mean we're free to love? Just kidding. Of course, right?
Conjunct the South Node. So it's kind of understand what is love and what is not love for you, and move away from what is the distorted view of love and towards what actually is love.
It's a big thing, right? Because if you are in a partnership kind of love, your definition is different to the other, and how you want to receive and how you want to give is different from the other. So that's also, yeah. And connecting it to Cancer, which is home, aren't you supposed to feel at home with this love, right? May it be in a partnership or family. I think the whole year has been constantly like reminding us this, like sometimes like, I want to leave this house already, it's too much. But then for some of us who are alone also, I'm like, oh, why am I so alone? Like I want to, see people again. So I think it all goes back to what they said, like not being reactive and knowing what really home is for you. And so with this, I love sharing cacao because to me it reminds me of home, right? We grow up with this. This is a big Cebuano and Ilonggo tradition, and maybe in Mindanao and maybe in Manila also. Cacao is a heart opening plant. Why is it so? Because it has all the beautiful nutrients that Mother Earth has been sharing this beautiful plant with. It's very nurturing. It's also good. Well, to me anyway, to some of my friends, um, they don't digest it well. I'm not sure if it's the sugar or the milk. So if you're in ceremony, it's good not to have dairy with cacao, and not no sugar or less sugar, because it's actually good for digestion also. And I put some cinnamon in here because cinnamon is also good for digestion and stomach issues. Ooh, this looks good. I hope you guys can see this. It's so beautiful. What happened to our music? Lana? It's supposed to be connected? Maybe. All right. Oh no, it's okay. If you guys have your cacao with you, you can prepare it yourself as you receive this beautiful gift from Mother Earth. This is an invitation to receive an invitation to open your heart. A reminder of what home truly means to us. Cacao is actually shaped like this, the pod. It's shaped like a heart or a womb. And so it's very much related to the heart, right? So how is your heart? Is it still there? How much more can you give? And how much more can you take? Let's take a deep breath here. In and out. Let's do some neck rolls starting with the right. Exhale down. Inhale, rolling to the right. Exhale. And then reverse, rolling to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to the left. Exhale down. Inhale, bringing the head up. If your eyes are open, gazing towards the sky, stretching that front neck, the throat, and then the chest. Of course, without hurting the back of the neck. Exhale, bring the neck all the way down, tucking the chin. Inhale, bring the neck back to the center. And just gently tapping the heart. Finding the center. Maybe slowly massaging the chest outwards. Towards the collarbones. And continue breathing. If it gets heavy, just focus your awareness back to the breath. Now bring your left arm open to the side and then slowly caressing from the fingers, slowly bringing it to the crease of the elbows with gentle pressure, and then underneath the armpit, pressing it gently. Maybe open the shoulder wider and then bringing it back to the heart center. And then let's reverse. The right hand open. Left hand reaches the right fingers, slowly and gently pressing them against each other. And then just gently caressing the inner arms, the crease of the elbow. up to the armpit and gently pressing it in a circular motion, and then back to the heart. Pressing the hands against each other. Let's bring our hands up, interlacing the hand, finger. Exhale, bringing the hands to the back, interlacing the fingers, opening the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Now bringing the hands back to the center. We have now physically opened the channels to the heart. Now I invite you to please take a cup each. Right. Let's bring the cup closer to our heart. Giving thanks to Mother Earth for all the nourishment that we've been continuously blessed with in this lifetime. The earth, the wind, the water, and the fire. Giving thanks to our families and our friends, our ancestors, and our spirit guides. And slowly and gently, you may take a sip. As you exhale, you call in your loved ones to join you in ceremony today. What does it remind you of? Home? Cancer. Oh gosh. Oh. Oh. It's like I see a little princess in the cup. Oh, beautiful. I know we've been talking about the great conjunction, right? And then here comes full moon, and then we talk about Cancer. And then here comes New Year. We talk about all our plans and everything for the next year. So even though there are restrictions, there are so many things happening. And I think it's very important to know and to embody what is really happening. As you ladies mentioned, Saturn is in Aquarius, which is now air, but it was in Capricorn before, which was earth. And so we're kind of like dancing. I don't know if we're there yet, but we're still dancing in between the two, right? And I think there's a lot of like tension in our minds and in our bodies, because even though we don't speak the astrology lingo or the earth, wind, and fire, it's happening within us. And so it's good to know that these things are changing and we are also changing with them. And earth is our joints, right? Our bone, our knees, everything that's connecting us and giving us structure, but also is hard. Our skin also, because it holds us together. And Aquarius is our mind, nerves, lymphatic. Okay, so that's like the whole of our body. And so I'd like to invite you to please stand as we embody Saturn and Jupiter leaving Capricorn. As we go to air, we're kind of like in between, you know, it's like you want to go, but you don't.
And this is the song that came out.
It's also about
So
also knowing in your heart.
I will share with you my friend's song.
May never
Ooh. Okay. Here we go, Gaga.
this moment until you die. So live life.
So let's
on the
stand
edge,
with our feet
you know, halfway between heaven and hell. I like all that.
firmly planted in the ground, but the knees are unlocked. And we're just swaying because we're in the edge, right? So just swinging. There's still structure. We're still holding on to those strong joints and bones, but we're kind of feeling the air moving. And when you're comfortable, you may close your eyes. Feeling also the womb, the belly.
To feel the rush, to brush the dangerous. I'm gonna run right to
Feeling the earth underneath you while holding water in your womb. How can you move without spilling that water out from your cup? And then there's air on top of you. And of course, we need fire to let all these elements move also. And then there's your heart.
another shot before we kiss the other side. Tonight, yeah, baby.
Maybe standing on one leg
I'm on the edge of something.
while all the elements are playing in the body. This is how we feel the whole year. Hi. It's all right.
It isn't hell if everybody knows my name tonight. Alright, alright.
Opening the heart. Looking up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bringing the hand to the back, curling, curving. Opening again. Exhale, embracing yourself. Inhale. And just freeing the hand. If you feel tight in your heart area, in your chest, this is the best exercise. Maybe giving a hug to your friend.
Mary hug.
And then just coming back. Touch and go, coming back. Standing with the feet firmly to the ground. Okay. So today I decided to be less woo-woo. I'm playing songs that we actually understand in English. So we have already said goodbye to Jupiter and Saturn in Capricorn. We're not saying goodbye to them because they're moving to Aquarius. Now all it takes is for you and you and you and me to jump in, right? It's like, what are we like letting go of? You guys mentioned there's New Earth. Ooh, what is New Earth? I don't know, but I decide to jump in. So I invite you guys to jump in. So you can also do jumping movement. And in your head, think of the things that you want to let go so you can jump higher. Yeah. So what is this? So maybe start with shaking. I invite you to close your eyes and just let your body feel and move.
It's your life. Don't hesitate.
If you feel it in your stomach, you can breathe in and press your stomach back to the spine and really put energy and effort to breathing in and exhaling as you shake off or exhale it out.
Jumping into the future, jumping into a
Happy New Year! And sweating is also a good thing of letting go, no? I'm gonna jump. How about you? If there's extra, you can also voice it out. Hindi pa siya tapos. Hi, Apple.
Walang kasing lakas, so take a leap and jump with us. Take this trip and ride with us. It's your time, don't hesitate. It's your life, it can be great.
Slowly moving to air. Release it all to the earth. Ah. As you release, you exhale from the stomach out through the mouth. Ah. And then slowly coming back. Keeping the awareness in the breath. Feeling energy in the hands and the feet. And then just slowly going back to your seat. Exhale here. Keeping the awareness in the breath. Awareness in the space between the eyebrows and the third eye. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in. Exhale as long as you can. Jasper is going to share his music with us. Gonna do a here.
can also lay down. Up. Relax. Receiving the sound, light, feeling the wind gently touching your face. Feeling the air going in and out of your nose. Noticing your chest going up, down. Relaxing the face. Gentle smile. Stay. That's fine. Journal. Moon is out. Our hearts are full. Share. Just before we close, yeah, I heard it.
Thank
I think the key thing to remember, just because we're not yet at the height of the full moon, if I'm not mistaken, the moon has just moved into Cancer a little while ago. So most of the day we had it in Gemini too. So we're only feeling the very beginning of this Cancer full moon. So if we're already feeling it and it's only at the beginning, I want to invite all of us to go easy on ourselves. Um, because the closing of this year isn't like the closing of any other year where
we've created resolutions and we want to do such and such. So I kind of want to offer for this year for us to come up, rather than with resolutions, we come up with flow solutions. But I don't want to use the word solution because that would feel like something needs fixing, and nothing necessarily needs fixing. So I just like to offer maybe the word flow. Let's flow into 2020, and as you're looking at let's flow into 2021. We just finished 2020.
We want to be done with 2020. 10 years ago.
Yes. So let's flow into 2021 and be patient and calm with ourselves, especially if we did not accomplish what we wanted to or thought we would accomplish this year. Let's flow into the next one with more hope, more love, more empathy, and more openness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put Mike the next time.
I guess from my end, to allow yourself this time for reflection, right? Cats get home insecurity. So if he can use this time, and when I say this is now until we reach the peak of the full moon tomorrow, if you can journal about number one, if you can just list, just rewrite for 5 minutes. List the things that have not been supporting your nourishment, your safety, and security. Just list it down. Don't think so much of it. Just list it down. And then number two, what did you plan in January this year that did not happen? Again, just don't think so much of it. Just feel into it. Rewrite for 5 minutes. And then lastly, if you want to feel like you want to burn that piece of paper where you wrote down those two things, go ahead and do so. But thirdly, if you can then reflect, how now can you feel nourished, supported, and safe and secure? And just think about the questions that we asked early on. How can you then build structures and foundations to safeguard your safety and nourishment? Again, as we step into 2021, there's going to be so much old versus new, so much disillusionment as Neptune will continue to square the nodes in Sagittarius and Gemini. So dogma, belief, people are going to cling to what they know, and even if what they know is no longer serving. And can you come from a place of just knowing and believing and aligning with your truth without needing to defend? So yeah, going back to just nurturing yourself in your soul, and definitely compassion for yourself foremost. Right. Before we can be compassionate and empathic with others, it has to start home.
Thank you. Salamat po.
I want to say thank you for inviting me in this ceremony, circle. I'm really grateful for everything.
This is Jasper, guys.
What's happening.
Like you might. Thank you, Jasper. I hope Jasper will join us in our next circle. As a Cancer moon, wow, my testimony. Diba? Hot seat. I think for me, the past few days, I've been feeling a lot in my stomach. Maybe because I ate too much cheese in Christmas, but it's also because I'm a very I think I'm bipolar. Like I'm social, like super social, and when I want to be alone, I just don't want to like see and do anything with anyone. And I think that's what Cancer is, right? It's like when it comes out, it has all her like limbs, legs, however you call them, and it's all out, you know. But then when it goes in, it's like I just want to be me, you know. And so some things that you want to look after is your stomach. So eat like healthy, light food if you can. Of course, there's still New Year's coming and there's a lot of like gatherings, right? But yeah, maybe just skip a meal within the day and gear up to the biggest meal of the celebration. And yeah, self-care, like what Thea said. But what is self-care, right? What is self-care to you? To me, it's this, you know, being in community, having ceremony and cacao and sharing like knowledge of, well, listening to you guys. Yeah, I think Cancer is more self-nurturing, right? Rather than like mothering yourself. That's it. Journal. They is gonna share that. So Yon, thank you so much for showing up again. Karina has done you. Yay.
But and then that's all for her. I'll have you pull it.
Cool.
And spirit. Time to collaborate.
Mhm.
Here we are, collaborating. Gemini, exactly. And spirit. And this is card number one, too, of the deck. So that's pretty interesting. The picture on here are ants putting
Only
puzzles
one more.
together. All right, let's
Hmm?
see if we can get a little bit.
One more left. No, no.
When Ant comes to visit, it's time to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as part of a community or a tribe.
Ooh.
Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one you have with Spirit. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline like meditation to keep you on track as you build a life you desire. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful as it is unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. The other message at Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it. Whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you, everything is working to support you right now. Yeah, and here we are as a tribe, connecting, collaborating, joining.
Okay. Do we do Shavasana or no? No. Okay. All right. Let's begin. Oh wow. um, Sometimes it's really difficult to express our emotions.
Except when
Well, that was what I was gonna say. Like with me, I'm not gonna. I don't want to be accountable. Just me. I want to blame it to my Mars and Aries. When sometimes I express my frustration in like very yeah. Or sometimes we feel like we're a victim and we just like cry or like blame others, right? There's so many things that come into play. But when we are centered in our bodies, it's just like, and then wala na, you don't need to react. It's like, so know when how to take a step back, just like when we gather here, and then go back and say, okay, where were we? So I invite everyone to join me and Jasper to do just a quick sea of ohms. This is just to stimulate the vagus nerves. And when you express just within yourself, not to hurt yourself, but to like express maybe in your voice or in your creativity, your writing, your movement, your filmmaking, your any outlet or extension that you have or that you can express yourself, I invite you to honor that because that is you, right? It justifies your presence here on earth. And if others don't see it, it's okay because you define what suits you, what makes you feel good. And so when we meditate, when we move, when we use our voice, when we use our talent and our creativity, we express this and we honor the spirit. And so, yeah, take this time to reconnect with your spirit and see where you are now and how you want to move forward with all your gifts. As we close this ceremony, I'd like you to close the eyes. You may place your hands either on top of your knees, palms down or palms up. You can also place your hands on top of your heart center. We'll just do a few ohms together, taking a breath in, and as we breathe out, we say om a few times. Breathing in. feeling that light, keeping that light within you. May you spread that light to everyone around you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So the next time somebody tells you to say you do all the ohms you can. It releases so much tension in the head, no? Good night, everyone. See you next new moon. Look at that. Beautiful.